It's your boy Brandon. I'm opening this up by saying all praise to the Most High, Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shah. I appreciate all you brothers tuning in to the lesson. I'm here to talk about how the older generations are done. Your mom, maybe not your mom, but like your grandma, your grandpa, your great auntie, your great uncle. The older generation born in the 40s, 50s, 60s, 70s, even the 80s, they're done when it comes to understanding the truth. How do I know this? Let's go to Proverbs 8 and 17. It says, I love them that love me, and those that seek me early shall find me. What does that mean? The Most High is saying that he loves those that love him, and those that seek the Most High early at a young age finds him. You brothers got to understand, when you think about the world, who's the number one target for marketing? Who's the number one target for indoctrination? It's not grown men, old women. It's children. It is kids, because kids are the most impressionable. What you learn in your first 5 to 10 years of life can honestly set up who you become for your entire lifetime. I always say in my video that the trauma us brothers experience at a young age, and us sisters, for Israelite sisters out there, it affects who you are a long time. If your parents split up, you have a lot of trauma. If your mom never loved you, you have a lot of issues when it comes to getting validation from from women. When it comes to your dad not being in your life, it oftentimes makes you want to seek a masculine presence, or you're void of a masculine presence. So everything that happens in your formative years, it forms who you are long term. So you got to understand, when it comes to the matrix we live in, when it comes to the system we live in, by Esau, by all these countries, they always focus on children, because if they can indoctrinate the children, poison their mind at a young age, they're fucking done. Why do you think Lil Nas X, his audience is children? What did he do on the devil? He twerked on another, it's so they can become TRANNYs when they get older. That the alphabet community targets children because they want these people to be like that 10, 15, 20 years down the line. You got to understand that. That's why these celebrities and all these people, Lil Pump, this nigga got nails on his hand. They're getting indoctrinated at a young age, so that way the next generation can get sicker and sicker and sicker and sicker. But you also have to understand that the older generation has been indoctrinated, because what era are we living in? The social media era, the internet era, where you can search up information whenever you want to. That wasn't around before. Before, you had one news channel. You had, 4 TV stations. You know what I'm saying? You had a few radio stations. So the people who ran the world, they controlled everything, and information was very hard for information to get out. So when it comes to your older generations, they were indoctrinated and programmed to follow the news, to follow these politicians, to believe that America's the greatest country on earth, to believe that America's the land of the free, and that quote unquote Esau loves Jacob and all these other nations, when in actuality, behind closed doors, they're probably the most wicked empire to ever reign on the earth, bro. Mystery Babylon. So I'm saying all this because somebody just called me on Friday. They didn't call me, actually. I tell you guys how about a week and a half ago, I had seen my grandma. She had got an email saying how she was scheduling to take the V card. It was like last week Wednesday or whatever, 2 weeks ago, I think. And I had called her and I was like, yo, you gonna take it? She's like, yeah, I'm gonna take it so I can go to Jamaica. I'm like, why would you do that? Like, I don't know if you heard the news with the CDC, but apparently people have been dying. People have been having a lot of terrible symptoms and whatnot. She's like, oh, really? Oh, son, I thank you so much. I love you, Brandon. Thanks for looking out. I'm like, yes, I saved my grandma from taking the fucking shot of death. Well, on Thursday or Friday, actually, I seen another email about Johnson & Johnson V cards. I'm like, so you literally had your son, the person who probably loves you more than anybody else in the world, telling you not to take this, and yet you about to get scheduled again. So I called her, and I was like, yo, so you about to take the Johnson & Johnson? She's like, yeah, I'm going to take it. And I didn't fight. I didn't resist it. I didn't do none of that shit, because I realized that my grandma's indoctrinated. I tell her, don't watch the news. I tell her, don't watch CNN. That shit is on 24/7. I tell her, go on social media. I tell her, look up research. I tell her, don't, keep all your money in the bank. I tell her, get some assets, get some Bitcoin. She's like, oh, well, the news told me not to, so I'm not going to do it. Look, man, the older generation is done. My other grandma on my dad's side, she took the V card a month ago, and she was bragging to me on the phone like, yeah, baby, I took the V card. I'm safe. I'm wearing my mask. And then my mom like, damn, why would you do that? Like, look at your son. Your son is in the knowledge. Your son is in the truth. Your grandson is in the truth. Ask him for this knowledge. Ask him for this understanding. But they just want to watch the program. They just want to watch the TV, tell lies to your vision. They don't want to hearken on to the younger generation because they only see you as a little baby. That's what they've seen you since you were, since you were born, bro. So they're not going to look to you as a source for information. A lot of these people, I'm going to be honest, grandma and your grandpa are indoctrinated to see the white man as the source of all the information, not knowing that you're not supposed to trust our enemy. At the end of the day, bro, no matter what you tell your grandparents, they have layers and layers and layers and layers of programming. That's why I didn't sit here and try to debate with my grandma not to take it, because at the end of the day, she's not going to listen to me. And you know what's even more crazy? After that happened, maybe 15, 20 minutes later, she tried to call me, but I didn't answer the phone, and I recalled her. I'm like, oh, hey, what's going on? She's like, hey, are you at work? Are you busy? I'm like, what's up? She said, hey, you think you can help me, sign up for it? I wasn't getting a link to sign up for it. And I told her, I'm like, I'm not going to help you sign up with that. I'm not going to help you put poison in your body. You're going to have to call somebody else and figure it out. And she heard that, and she just kind of laughed like it was a joke and like, all right. And I just hung up. She think this shit funny. She think this shit is a game, man. They think it's funny and they think it's a game until, that time period comes where they're getting altered, they're getting tracked, and eventually they're gonna take the mark, bro. They're gonna take the mark of the beast. You brothers gotta let your family go, bro. I detached from my grandma. I might have got a little upset. I listened to a song in regards to that's gonna be on my album. That comes out on Friday, by the way. But I listened to a song where I was talking about how I'm gonna have to say bye to my parents because at the end of the day, they're too lost in the sauce. You know what I'm saying? And I want to read a scripture from 2 Chronicles, chapter 36, verse 15 and 16. And the Lord, the Most High of their fathers, and this is talking about the Israelites, the Most High sent to them by his messengers, rising up betimes and sinning, because he had compassion on his people and on his dwelling place. But the Israelites mocked the messengers of the Most High and despised his words and misused his prophets until the wrath of the Lord arose against his people, so there was no remedy. Look, at the end of the day, all the people who are going to get fire and brimstone that's written, they've gotten warned. A lot of you brothers are in the knowledge and you hearken on to the ways, but a lot of people are asleep and they're lost in the sauce. And to be quite honest with you, there's nothing that you can do about it. The Most High is giving these people's warning. The Most High is using me, telling her, look at this video on YouTube. I sent her a video of a nurse who's working, talking about how he wouldn't recommend people her age take it. She didn't listen. All she wants to do is listen to Anderson Cooper, the pansexual, Wolf Blitzer. I think that nigga died, actually. But all she wanted to... Oh, that was Larry King, my bad. But she wants to listen to Wolf Blitzer. She wants to listen to all these people on CNN, these politicians who, like I always tell you, brothers, they don't give two fucks about her. They don't care about my grandma. They don't give a fuck. But her own flesh and blood, who loves her more than, most things on earth, she didn't want to listen to. You gotta let the older generation go because they're not gonna understand what's really going on. And it is what it is, bro. They're too deep into it. And another thing that I wanted to talk about too is in my city of Houston, one of the hospitals had mandated the vaccine, the V card for all its workers. See, brothers gotta understand, Joe Biden, the government, they understand that they shouldn't mandate it because too many people are going to fall for the play. Are not gonna fall for the play. If Joe Biden came out tomorrow and said, we're gonna mandate this for everybody, people will resist it and it will be civil war. So what they're doing is they're allowing private entities, private companies like Amazon, Target, Walmart, big corporations to enforce this on the people because they understand that, okay, if the government's not gonna enforce it, your job can enforce it. The stores can enforce it. Amazon can enforce it. Uber can enforce it. And everything that you brothers know and love is going to enforce it slowly but surely. That's how they do it behind the scenes. They're not gonna do it and go out like China and say, yo, motherfucker, you need to take this shit. If not, we're gonna kill you. But they wanna do it like, hey, do it. Get your free donut, my nigga. Get your motherfucking donut. Get your gelatin, my nigga. Get your gluten. Hey, look, your employers, they say you gotta take it. Look, you gotta take it. And at the end of the day, slowly but surely, they're going to privatize and mandate the V card through all these private companies because, to be honest with you, America is run by 4 or 5 corporations anyway, man. You got to understand that the Caucasian Jews, they run everything through a small group of large corporations, bro. Just like how Monsanto, they have a damn near a monopoly when it comes to, seeds and GMO seeds and things like that. It's the same thing in any type of company, any type of industry that you have when it comes to United States of Freemasons. Oh, my bad. United States of America. So look, brothers, I just want to say that back to the first point. When it comes to your older generation, your grandma, your grandpa, your granduncles, they're too far into it. They're too deeply programmed. The TV, the news, the radio, their old people, friends who are indoctrinated, they're gone. The reason why we're chosen by the Most High is because we have access to a lot of information. Because again, the Most High gives us information, which is knowledge, which is understanding, and we can actually go out and do our own research and not believe everything that we see on the TV. Because again, these people do not give a fuck about us. So, in my honest opinion, I'm not saying, and I don't know, I'm not the Most High, but I feel like it's going to be the younger generation that's going to stand up and not take it. Whereas a lot of the older generations, they're already too lost with the sauce. It is what it is. But anyways, man, if y'all enjoyed the video, like, comment, subscribe. You already know we going to the motherfucking stratosphere.